couple of years ago, we were contacted by a guy called Tim Shepherd. He's an expert plant time-lapse photographer, and he works on a number of different projects, producing plant time-lapses for the likes of the BBC, for Disney+, for Netflix, so big production companies. And he was interested in LED grow lights for his studio. He was starting out on a new project for the BBC called The Green Planet. So we supplied lights to him, produced a recommendation of the lighting requirement for him, supplied the lights, and we said, once the project's finished, we'd love to come down and have a look and see what you've been up to. Last month we got the chance to go down to his studio and see the sort of stuff that was growing in there. So what he's got is, he's inside the studio, he's growing all sorts of tropical plants in there. He's using the Telos LEDs to grow the plants. Even though they're tropical plants, he's growing them here in the UK. He's filming them to create these time-lapse sequences. So it might be a vine growing up a tree or a flower opening. We went down there and he showed us around the studio. And one of the most interesting things that we saw when we were down there, he had leafcutter ants in there, which are these tropical species of ants that they cook the Chinese privet down and they take it into the nest. And in the nest, they grow fungus. They have what's called a fungus garden. And so they have this symbiotic relationship between the fungus and the ants. And they require all this vast amounts of this Chinese privet to sustain it all. The privet is all grown under Telos LEDs, and he's found that he's able to grow it at such a rate that we can keep the ants fed, and they've always got enough to kind of sustain their natural behaviours. And when we got down there, he was filming a particular sequence where he was going to use a spray gun to spray the ants and to make it look like it was raining. In the wild, if it rains, it can get washed away, or the nest can get flooded, things like that. So when they think it's raining, the first thing they'll do is they'll run back to the nest. They'll stop what they're doing, drop all the pieces of leaves, and run back to the nest. And so we watched him as he sprayed the ants, and they all started running back to the nest. And meanwhile, he had a slow motion camera running, and he was capturing the droplets hitting the ants, knocking them over, and it's all going to be in slow motion, I think for Disney+. So it was, a great opportunity to work with Tim there and see how Telos LEDs can grow these tropical plants here in the UK. And in the past we've worked on other things, in particular butterfly farms. We've had a couple of butterfly farms come to us looking for LED grow lights to support both plants and insects.
My name's Richard. I'm the head of horticulture here at the Butterfly Farm in Stratford-on-Avon. We chose Telos primarily due to the high output of light from each unit and the cheap running cost. We've had huge success using the lighting system. Grow many different types of plants, primarily flowering plants for nectar sources, but also those for specific butterfly host plants. Between 10 and 20 units on site. We have 10 in the back offshore greenhouse and a further 10 within our flight area. Benefits from using the lighting are that in each site where a light is placed, flowers proliferate, which was an unplanned benefit from having the lights. So we choose it any day.
One particular farm, they're upgrading different sections of the butterfly farm at one time, and every time they come to us and they get more Telos LEDs. And what we found there is that when they've put them in, they found the butterflies have started exhibiting behaviours that they've never really seen in captivity before, kind of different types of mating behaviours and things like that. And we put it down to the Telos spectrum is so good at kind of replicating daylight, sunlight, and it adds a little bit of warmth as well to the environment. It helps the plants to grow, and it just makes the butterflies feel a little bit more at home. And so they start exhibiting these different kinds of behaviours. So that's another success story for us.